Hello everybody and welcome back to another YouTube tutorial. I'm George and today I'm gonna teach you how to create partitions on your Arch Linux system. Last time we downloaded and installed Arch Linux on a virtual machine, and now we're gonna continue. So first of all, before creating the partitions, we need to set up our environment. So depending on which type of keyboard layout you have, you you, you need to set this. So if you have an English keyboard, so load keys US or UK, I'm gonna put US. And if you have a French keyboard, for example, you could put FR. It depends. So today we're gonna create 4 partitions: a boot partition, a swap partition, a root partition, and a home partition. And the swap partition um, is used by the system as extra RAM. Okay, so to start, you simply type f disk dev sda. So if you type p, you can see that it's still empty. We still didn't do any partitions yet, so you type n for new, p for primary partition. The partition number is 1. First sector doesn't matter. Now this part, the last sector, determines the size of the partition we're creating. So here I'm gonna put it 256 megabytes, like this, and it's done. It's created. Now for the 3 remaining partitions, you have n for new, p for primary, partition number 2, default sector doesn't matter. This I'm gonna put 2 gigabytes for the swap partition. Alright, and now for the rest, so new, primary, partition number 3, first sector doesn't matter. The last sector is gonna be for the root partition, so I'm gonna put it 32 gigabytes. Okay, and for the last one, primary, okay, first sector doesn't matter. For the last sector, since we're done, this is the last partition we're gonna use, so we're gonna let it consume the rest of the size left. Okay, so by default this is done. So they're all created. If you press P, you can see they are created. So you have the boot, you have the devices SDA1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the partitions, the start and the end, and the size of them. Okay, and the ID of them. So the ID for the second one, for the swap, we need to change because we need to make it a swap. So to change that, you type T. So partition number 2. If you don't know the code for the change you're gonna make, you can simply put L and see the list of them. So the swap, as you see, is number 82. So you just type 82, and it's done. If you type P again, you can see the change. So SDA2 is now a swap partition. And as well, since SDA1 is the boot partition, so we need to make it as boot. So you put A, partition number 1, and if you put P again, you can see the star underneath the boot section. So the first one is the boot now. So to save these changes, you simply type W, and everything has been saved, and they're here. Okay, so second part is we need to format our partitions. Okay, so let's start. with the first partition. So mkfs dot x2 dev sdi1. We're gonna format it as x2. So this is done, and then we're gonna format the swap. So mk swap dev sda2. Okay, this is done. And to turn the swap on, to use it, swap on dev sda2. Alright, it's being used. Now, the third and fourth partitions, we can't simply format them now because we need to encrypt them first. So to do that, we write crypt setup lux format the dev sda3 first, the third partition. The F should be capital. Okay. Are you sure you wanna? Yep. So you put yes here, and then you put a passphrase. So I'm gonna put mine and verify it again. Okay. So the root, the SD3 is now encrypted. So we need to do the same for the SD4 as well. Yes. Okay. So these are encrypted now, the third and the fourth partition. So now we need to open the encrypted partitions and then format them. So to open them up, you simply put this is open, lux open, and this is sda3 first, and you need to put a name for it. So so this is the root, so I'm gonna put it as crypt root. Okay, passphrase. This is done. And for the crypt home as well, so this is sda4. Okay, so they're open, and to see if they're open, you just put ls dev mapper. So they're here, as you can see. And to close them, you simply replace open with close, but we're not gonna do that now. So we open them up. Now we need to format them. So mkfs dot x4 dev mapper crypt root first. This is the third partition, and yeah, this is it. So start with this. That's done, and we need to do the same thing for crypt home. And it's done. Okay, so we formatted our root and home partitions. So now we need to mount the partitions. So first we're gonna start with the root. So mount dev mapper crypt root onto mnt because it's empty. You can mount it wherever you want, but here I'm gonna mount it in mnt. This is done. And then to do the others, to mount the home and the root, first we need to create directories for them. So we need to create two folders for them. So mkdir mnt root and mkdir mnt home. Okay, and then we mount them here. So this is gonna be the boot. So this is the boot. This is the sta1, and we're gonna mount it in the boot folder that we created just now. So this is done, and then we're gonna mount the crypt home. So this is gonna be mapper crypt home, and we're gonna put it in mnt home, which we created, and that's it. So after we mounted these, we can check the mnt folder, for example. Okay, so as you can see the boot and the home, and if you do like this, the mnt, if you access them, okay, you can see that you can, but they're still empty because we still didn't put anything in them. So I'm gonna clear this screen. So next we need to download and install the Arch Linux base system and to update the Linux repositories. So to do that, simply type pacman capital S Y, okay, and start. Okay, this is done, and now we need to install the base system of Arch Linux as well as the kernel in our new environment that we created. So to do that, we need to type backstrap mnt base Linux and start. So this is gonna download everything needed. It's gonna take some time. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be back when this is over. Okay, so this is done. Everything has been updated and downloaded. So the next thing we need to do here is generate the fstab file content. So what is the fstab? The fstab is basically your operating system's table. So it's configured to look for specific file systems and mount them automatically in a desired way each and every time. So this is gonna be used to mount our partitions that we created each time we log in without doing it manually anytime. So this will help, and this will map everything and to know where everything is located. So to do that, we simply put gen fstab l -mnt. Okay, we're gonna put it in a folder called mnt etc fstab -num. So after all this is done, now we can move to the environment that we created. So to do that, you simply type arch root chroot -mnt, and we're in. This is the environment we just created. So this is gonna be the end of this video. Next time we're gonna configure our new environment, and thank you all for watching, and see you guys next time.